Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Boleyn Lounge, another Tuesday talk show. Uh, if you're watching live, thanks for your patience. Sorry for being late. If you're watching back, otherwise, it makes no difference to you anyway. So, welcome anyway. Um, was hoping Budgie was going to join us, but he's really been held up, and it looks like he's not going to make it. So, unfortunately, he just stuck with me this evening. So, get involved in the chat, otherwise, it's really gonna be a short show. Um, to top it all, I didn't see the first 20-25 minutes of the game, so you'll have to enlighten me if the first half of the first half was any better than the second half. But I picked it up just around about when Suchek got his header, uh, and the following 20 minutes or so, I thought much of the same tedious first half sort of displays that we give, especially with five at the back, it seems, and Bowen and Kudus up front. Uh, Second half seemed much better with some good passages of play, created some chances. Looked like we might be able to score a goal, and we did. We came out firing early doors, got a good goal. I think Kudus was a little bit fortunate with his finish, but hey, he's got his goal, and God does he need it. So let's hope that kicks him on. And I'll be honest, I thought it was looking like it was going to be a 1-1 game, and then we ended up with three goals in 10 minutes. Once we go 2-1 up, you think that's it. We're finally going to get our 3 points and see the game out. But no, we managed to conspire not just to give away the lead, but to give away a winner to them as well. And I'm sure the third goal is it's an absolute cracking strike, but so much time and space, not good enough. Second goal, Sufal's left mark in two. Probably should be on the far post and Kilman comes across, but that's not how it was. He tries to go across, close the guy at the far post down, and ball comes across. Unexplainably to me, Kilman kind of steps out and leaves Matoma in behind him, rather try to step in and defend the ball in any way. That seemed really odd, and pretty simple header from Matoma. So disappointing, thinking we were going to give away a late equaliser and give up 2 points, but to come away with nothing, absolutely desperate. And second half changes. I mean, takes JWP off. I thought it was pretty anonymous in the game, I have to say. I thought we saw the good and the bad of Paqueta. I mean, he did some good stuff in the game, but he let players go past him far too easy at times. Still managed to fall over trying to buy a foul and let their runners into our back four on a couple of occasions. Suchek again, we saw what's good and bad about him. Pops up with his goal, does Suchek things, but again, he's sort of lumbering around a lot of the time. He's exposed for pace. Really, really need to address that in the summer. And he persisted with the five at the back, and I really thought the midfield was our problem. So when he made the changes, I don't know why he didn't switch to a four at the back. If he wanted to bring JWP out, fine. Bring another midfielder in there. Fulkrug on. Fulkrug on seemed a no-brainer, but he made such a difference. He must be absolutely devastated at being left out. And then we'll get onto the Potter presser. But first of all, I'll come into the chat, say hello to you guys, and I see what you're saying about things. I'm gonna have to change my glasses so I can see, not those ones. Toa's in. He says, "Good evening, Jeff, Budgie, Mick, usual, and other chatters." Well, Mick's on holiday and Budgie's a little bit stranded at the moment. So, but thanks for joining us, Tara. Word says similar. Evening, Jeff, Mick, Budgie, and God, I'm going to have to move that. Sorry, everyone. God, I'm sorry about this, guys. Everyone, damn seagull shat on my hammer at the weekend. It made a right mess. He shat on all of our hammers' words. Thanks for joining us, mate. Usual's in. Thanks for joining us, buddy. And I'm getting dished out lines by words for my late arrival. I do apologise. Mama's in. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Lovely to see you as always. And everyone's saying hello to each other there. And sorry, I've scrolled by a couple of you. Ian's in. Good evening. So I was saying, so Jeff, do you think or hope that Spuds will be distracted by Europe and somehow we get the maximum points? I absolutely do hope that, Toa. I hope they field a side that they're going to protect what they're going to need for their Thursday evening. I hope they have a really tough game on Thursday leading into our game as well. And I hope we can take advantage of that. And we need to, because things are going to turn really nasty, I think, if they haven't already. Uh, Usual says, Toe, I've got Burton and PSG in a double this evening. Wish it was the final whistle here. And I see that Arsenal, they haven't equalised. So you'll have to enlighten me what happened there. Obviously, offside or something. And Toa says, just Jeff, all we need. I know. I feel exactly the same way. That's all I need, mate. I could do with some company, I tell you. And Make West Ham Great is in as well. Thanks for joining us, buddy. And Usual's asking, I wasn't watching. I was trying to chat to you guys. So yeah, I guess in VAR must have you ruled it out. So hopefully your double's still on, Usual. Ian says, I must confess, I'm starting to have real concerns over GP. Strange game plans, bizarre subs, and losing his rag with the media, etc. already. It's not going well, is it? And you're absolutely right, Ian. It's not going well at all. That presser was, I mean, the way he was puffing his cheeks out and all that before he took any questions, and he seemed absolutely raging. He looks really, really under pressure. Sufal sub, he's getting huge criticism for that. I guess he knows better than us if Emerson needed subbing off, but it just seemed really, really strange. And to lose that game, no wonder he's furious. I mean, he was getting it all sides of the ground on his way down the tunnel, I think. So I guess he's not in a good spot, but he's he's let the cracks show there a little bit. So hopefully we'll get a reaction from everyone against Tottenham. Words is saying, yeah, no goal. Make West Ham Great is saying, Declan Rice tonight. Matthew, I'm going to be Calvin Phillips. Okay, very good. And Usual's Grateful Aces is in. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for joining us. So says someone does need to tell GP that he does not have to use all 5 subs all the time. Yeah, I mean, it does seem a little bit pointless. Okay, and Usual's got a question there. He says, who would I like to see in charge? Okay, well, at the moment, I don't want to see Potter sacked, which is probably not the populist view, but I don't see who we're going to get in. This is the thing, right? We've let Lopetegui go at that cost and embarrassment for Sullivan. He's now appointed Potter at whatever cost. It'll cost whatever it will to get rid of him. He's definitely not investing in a manager if he does that. So we're looking into the free market again. I don't really know what candidates are out there. So if we're going to talk about who we'd like, would we like a Thomas Frank, a Marco Silva? I'd take any of those candidates if they were realistic options. Uh, but genuinely, I don't think they are. So I think we have to stick with Potter. I think we need to give him this window. And I want to go on and talk about perhaps some of the things that might go on through the summer window, despite all the news that's come out over the last few days about us being skint. I've got a theory about it. I'll share with you. You can give us your views on that. Um, but I think he deserves a summer, and I think we need to have a sharp start. Oh, God, that was close. Trossard almost scored there. Usual, your heart must have been in your mouth. Um, yeah, I think he deserves a summer. We need to start the season sharply, that's for sure. Things should be going much better than they are for Potter, and it's been close to picking up points and just short. And I do worry. That's a bit of a theme. We need to change that pretty quick. Uh, Words is saying, yes, Ian, that interview, his body language looked distraught, like he was losing control emotionally. I am not a robot. Yeah. And he said, I can swear if you like. Well, he really nearly did swear. He nearly said, I'm an effing robot. He had to stop himself. So I think he was really on the edge there, Words. Yes. Yeah. It was quite strange to see, really. Make West Ham great again. Says any truth in reports Real Madrid offered 300 million for Mavropanos, but the power cut meant the deal couldn't be completed in time. Very good. I think our fax machine was unplugged as well, so we didn't get the communique through. Terry says Forest was 17th last season. If we do half as well next year, that'll do, I think. Yeah, um, they broke the rules, took a penalty, and I guess put the building blocks in place for their success. So I would say they're better placed to catapult themselves to where they are today than we are. Exceptional achievement for them, though. I think absolutely fantastic, and I really hope they make the top four. Ian says GP must also expect by now to be critiqued or criticised. Most people were happy to judge Loppy after 10 games or so. GP is over that now. Not saying I want him out, but it is reasonable to assess. Absolutely right, Ian. And you can't say he doesn't deserve the criticism he's getting. It's been dreadful. Some of the football's been really poor. Some of it has been encouraging in spells. The goal scoring and chance creation is shocking, and you know you need something to get you off your seats. And not creating any chances or scoring any goals is not going to help, is it? So he absolutely deserves to be critiqued, and he's had a reasonable amount of time. We made the excuses for him. He just lost Somerville. Bowen was out. Fulkrug wasn't available. So he has some handicaps. Um, but Bowen's been back for some time now. Somerville looks like if he's not out for the season, he's not going to make an awful lot of contribution. But I think he will make a massive difference to us next year. So yeah, Potter's definitely been there long enough to start being judged. And some people, in my opinion, judging him a little over harshly with a Potter out type campaign, but they're entitled to that if they've seen enough and it's not good enough for them, and they're fed up with not creating chances and scoring goals, and they want to change. They could call for it, but I just think it's unrealistic. I think financially, it's not going to happen. Make West Ham great again says, I don't like managers who won't compromise on their style to match the strengths of the squad. We are not a possession side. Yeah, I was quite interested. In the second half against Brighton, I thought we had more of the ball than we had. I I looked at the stats and we had 35% possession in the second half against Brighton. It felt like more to me, and I don't. You can let me know if you thought that as well. But we created chances. We scored our goal from defending a corner. Um, yeah, it was sort of almost a bit of a Moyes throwback that second half in terms of sort of the possession stats, and yet springing the counter attack and looking dangerous. We did create some chances. Terence is in. Good evening, Terence. He says, I don't want rid of Potter. I just want the team to show some backbone. The German is right. We are shite. Yeah, it's true. And I think there is probably some problems in that dressing room. And I hope that if that's the case, we've got to have a rebuild. We've got to have a clear out. I hope he has the opportunity to get rid of them. If there's a few bad apples there, weed them out, move them on, um, and get people in who want to play for West Ham and do well for our club. Word says if Potter gets sacked, Sully will only bring in another defensive manager. If Sullivan was going to appoint a forward-thinking, attacking manager, he'd have done it by now. Yeah, I mean, he wants his safety first, isn't he? He wants us to stay in the Premier League. He wants to appoint first and foremost a manager that's going to keep our Premier League status beyond anything else. I firmly believe that as great as it was with David Moyes and the European qualification, 3 years in Europe and winning that trophy, I do think when he was appointed, it was a happy accident that we got into Europe for Sullivan. I don't think it was some part of some grand plan. Um, but thankfully, we all managed to go along for that ride, and it was a great time. So it was a great time for our football club and us as fans. But I don't think it was by any great planning by our board and Sullivan. And I think now we're in danger of those of saying, "Be careful what you wish for." Um, being able to make a really good case of we should have been more careful what we wish for. Would we have been worse off if Moyes had stayed? That's a question for you guys. Feel free to tell me what you think about that. Um, personally, I think it was time for Moyes to move on, and it was the right thing. I think Sullivan made an absolute balls up of Lopetegui appointment. We're all paying the price for that. And I don't think Potter was a bad appointment, but I did expect him to be doing better than he is now. I didn't expect too much different from what we've got, I guess, in some ways. But I did expect us to have picked up a few more points, I think. I think I perhaps thought we might not be quite as toothless as we've been, but that's a worry. Need to address that. Usual says the German builder gave his honest assessment. I agree with everything he said. Yeah, I don't think we can argue with what he said. Think there is a mentality problem a little bit at West Ham. I think the last couple of games that's been evident, and that's partly on the team. But I think some of Potter's shortcomings have been quite evident in the last couple of games as well. And I think he's made mistakes. And I think setting up the way he did home to Southampton was a mistake. Finishing the game the way he did home to Southampton, I think, was a mistake. And the substitutions that he made, like Soufal specifically in this game, kind of directly led to our defeat. But Paqueta, for how good he is at times, I thought was far too lax in that game, and he does that too often, and that's a bit of an attitude problem. He's brilliant creatively, and he gets stuck in, but sometimes he's just too lackadaisical. Ian says, best thing about the weekend was our away fans chant. Nicholas Fulkrug, he says what he wants. You have to love our fans' humour. Yeah, and the other one was right. What does he say? The German is right. We're fucking shy. I mean, absolutely brilliant. The fans, as always, full of banter. Um, and none of the fans in the ground particularly happy with Potter at the end of the game, which was interesting. He got the full Ted Lasso treatment as he walked down the touch line, I think. So don't think he enjoyed it, but you got to laugh, didn't you? Anyway, moving on. I wanted to talk about the summer. I did a bit of this last week, but we sort of got a bit deep into the show before I had a chance to talk about it. And the budget and one thing or another. Now, I know the news has broke that we've got no money and we have to sell first. That was kind of in the ether anyway, but I've ignored that, and I've set my basis on that we'll have something around 100 million as our budget for the summer transfer window. But I've also factored in that 35 million of that is committed to buy into Debo. So we've got like an active fighting fund of 65 million. And I'm going to kind of go through this, a hypothetical draft one, if you like. And I'd love it if you guys put your feedback in on perhaps some of the valuations I've attached to players, or who you think might be leaving the club, or perhaps staying in the club if I've earmarked them to leave. I've been quite generous on the cull on the first draft. So and it looks like Alvarez is not in the first draft, but it looks like if rumours are to be true, he'll be joining them. But let me just try and get this here for you. Okay. And I know if you're on a small screen, this can be a little bit annoying. So I will just try and read through quickly the info on here, and then I'll get rid of that slide. So I've based it on so far that we're going to retain the three goalkeepers that we have. Skulls, Kilman, Tadibo, and Wan-Bissaka will be retained by the club. Agard returns, Cresswell will be retained, Mavrotanas will be retained, and I've put in KWP. Seems Fulham have got some interest in. I'll keep it at that for now. As a free transfer coming in there. I've got Paqueta still at the club. I'm reluctant to put him in the sold or selling pile and count any income we might get from him until we get a result of his hearing. So for now, I'm keeping him at West Ham in the meantime. Alvarez also still at the club. He's probably going to have to get moved into the sell pile, but you let me know. I've got Potts coming in to the side. I've got interestingly, Carlos Soler. I've got an interesting theory about him that maybe we could extend his loan for another 12 months, as we tried to sign him on a 2-year loan, I believe, to start with. So I don't know if that will happen, but I guess maybe that's a deal that possibly couldn't be too difficult to get over the line. So let me know what you think about that, whether the club should, Potter would want to do that, if you think it's a good idea or not. I've kept Irving and Ward-Prowse at the club for now, and I've got a midfielder 1 and midfielder 2 to be recruited. I've kept Bowen and Guilherme at the club, Somerville, and I've put a loan as a left winger. I've got Fulkrug retained. I've got Marshall stroke Earthy to be given a chance. I think maybe one of them comes into the squad. Perhaps the other goes back out on loan. maybe both of them come in the squad. And I've labelled the next one as a new player, as a striker. That gives us a squad of 26, but it's got some youngsters in, so it would leave some room. It probably puts around, I don't know, 22, 23, I guess. So it would leave some room in January, or perhaps another couple of additions in the window. And what I've got on the departing list is Emerson, Kufal, Rodriguez, Souček, Kudus, Antonio, Ings. Zuma is also on the depart list as well. And I'll get rid of these slides now and come back to the chat. So you can let me know what you think of that, and I'll try and catch up with you. Okay, Ian says, agree, Jeff. Was definitely the right time for Moyes to go. Nothing against him. Never mind my choice, but he was the right man at the right time to stabilise us. Grateful for the cup. Good luck to him. Agree with those sentiments, Ian. Bear the man no malice. I think he gets rightly criticised for some of the state or some of the things he did and left as he left the club. But I also think some of those people don't recognise some of the good things that he did and delivered for the club, and I'm grateful to him for the good things that he did and delivered to the club. He's at Everton now. All the best to him. Although I still hope that we could possibly finish above them this season. And Toa's asking, Maxi in or Maxi out? That's one player that I overlooked. Hopefully out, and I haven't calculated him into my fees and calculations. So I'll adjust that for next week or the week after, whenever I revisit that. So carrying on from there, I've kind of put some valuations on the retained squad. So I've put Areola as a price tag if we would sell him around 8 million. Fabianski and Foderingham, I've put that we attract no fee. Wan-Bissaka, I've put that we wouldn't sell. Walker Peters come in as a free. Todibo, 35 million out of the 100 million budget. Mavropanos attached a 15 million valuation. Kilman, 35 million. Cresswell, were he to leave, no fee. Agard, if he to leave, 25 million. Scarles, I've put that as a no sale. Paqueta, I've put as a potential 45 million fee. Alvarez has 25 million. Irvin, 12 million. Soler, obviously, I've included in the squad as a continued loan. JWP, I've attached a 15 million value. I've put a no sale on Potts. I've attached a budget of 25 million for the first midfielder and 25 million for the second midfielder. So, combined 50 million for two midfielders. Bowen, I've put a no sale on. Guilherme, I've said 20 million. I would prefer to retain him, but there's been rumours the club would be prepared to sell him for that kind of fee. Fulkrug, I've put a 15 million fee on. New signing in a striker position, for example, I've suggested we could stretch to something maybe like 40 million. Earthy or Marshall not sale, including the squad, or loaned, and Somerville not to be loaned, and the other squad addition would be second loan. Still gives us room for a couple of loans, maybe some free transfers. We love Sullivan, loves a free or two. That would be a total investment of 125 million based on those outgoings. So of the outgoings, I've said Kufal will get no fee. I've attached 8 million to Emerson. Rodriguez, I've kind of put a nominal 800k fee. We might not attract a fee for him. Souček, I've put 20 million. Kudus, I've gone a little bit low on 70 million. It's rumoured that he's going to go for more than that, perhaps. So I've tried to be conservative or realistic, perhaps, in my valuations on the in and the out. And you can let me know if you agree with that. Ings, Antonio, and Zuma, no fee. And Cornet, I'll include into that list. And I'll probably attach a fee, something around £8 million. Let me know if you think that's right. But at the moment, that would give us total income is 99 million. So overall, from 125 million expenditure, there'd be 99 million incomings, be a net spend of 26 million, or gross spend 26 million. From our 100 million budget, obviously less our 35 million, so 65 million, we should then have potentially 39 million more to invest in the transfer market should the right targets come up, or up to, shall we say, or in January if we need to strengthen there. And that's without including any further sales that we might make. So I'm just going to get rid of that screen again. So, and I say, if you've got a small screen, I know it's annoying. And let me, sorry, catch up with your chat again. So Ian's saying, is Zuma still our player? I didn't realise that. Yeah, I think he comes back off of loan, but sure we're not going to renew his contract, so we're just going to release him, I guess. And Cornet went on loan, as I understand it, usual, still contracted to the club. So if they want to buy him, it potentially could attract a fee. And Tyler saying, yes, still ours for now. Terence says, the only player I'd be sad to see go is Souček. Kudus, I would love to see the back of. Doesn't want to be with us. Sod him off. Okay, fair enough. Okay, and I've put Souček into the sale pile. Personally, I wouldn't mind if he was retained as a squad player for next year. But I've put him into the potential sale pile because I think there may be some interest for him, and we could potentially sell him. JWP, I think I'd happily sell, but I'm not sure if we could find a buyer for him. But if we could, I'd rather see JWP go and keep Souček, I think. But I guess that's all personal preferences for everyone. What I'm trying to demonstrate with that first draft really is that although we need a rebuild, and I'm not saying that team or that squad would be absolutely fantastic, but I think the midfield is key. And if we bring in two solid, athletic central midfielders, we can transform that team. A striker, absolutely imperative. If we retain the core, if Mavropanos goes or Agard doesn't want to stay, we attract a decent fee for them, then we can get some replacements. That'll give Bisalli's chance to perhaps pick up a bargain or two out of the Championship, pick up a centre half from the Championship or something for not as much money as he wants to pay. Ian says, it's painful the amount of money we waste. I make you right at 15 million for JWP. When you think we paid 30 million-ish and we have got next to nothing out of him, the loss is criminal. And he's not the only one. Well, the thing is, Ian, we're dreadful at it, aren't we? We are dreadful in trading players. We're not great at buying, and I think we're worse at selling. we should get a few zloty for that Brazilian fella, Luiziao. Okay, yeah. Yeah, but he's on about going, is he? I don't know. I don't know what kind of valuation to put on him, to be honest with you. So, uh, yeah, give us some feedback, give me some ideas, and I will I'll include him in the list as well. Oh, usual. Phil Fear says, "Fuck me, Wigan equalised in the 96th minute." Oh, Tara says, "Heartbreak for your bank balance, usual." Wigan got a goal. Burton did a West Ham. See why you bet on them now. Tara says, Moyes can buy JWP. He wanted him, may still want him. Yeah, he may, but I guess the rumours are that he wants Soucek. Is he really going to want, is he going to want to reunite Soucek and Ward Prowse at Everton? I mean, you wouldn't have thought it would be a goal for him, but hey, who knows? He's welcome to Ward Prowse in my eyes. If he pays 15 million for him, I think we've done all right out of it. Get him off the wage bill. If we get any more than that, bonus. Soucek, I'd be a little sorrier to see, but I guess we should be looking to improve our squad players. He's such an important player, though, Soucek. I find it hard to put him down. Usually says, save myself till Thursday. I'm having Bodo Glint at 9-1. Oh God, I hope that comes in. I hope they have a really, really tough game. I'd love them to lose that as well. Yeah, they'd have their eyes fully on the following Thursday then. So it says 1 to 2 million for Lucio. No idea how he has done on loan in Poland. Yeah, okay, I'm with you, Tara. I've got no idea how to value him. I tell you what I do. I said I try and be relatively conservative, and then when I'm presenting, I know it doesn't quite work in the transfer window as you generate 99 million, so you've got 100 million to spend. I understand the PSR and all that is a little bit more complicated than that. Just trying to be as simplified as I can to suggest that we could generate pretty decent amount of income without absolutely shredding our team as some are suggesting we're going to need to. There might be additional people leaving, and if Alvarez and Paqueta were to go for a fee, it's like another 70 million that's going to generate. So we should be able to invest reasonably. I don't quite buy into the we've got no money, the pot is empty thing. And we've heard it all before, haven't we? So my stance is I'm ignoring that. I'm basing it on most of the promoted clubs come up and invest like 100 million in the summer transfer window. And if we're not able to do that, I think there's something seriously wrong. Ian says 100% agree. We need to proactively recruit in central midfield and a centre forward. Then we can be reactive after any sales and see what else we can bring in. If we did nothing else but sort the midfield out and centre forward, I'd take it. Yeah, and that's kind of my thinking. Like I say, on my first draft, I'll kind of revise it over the weeks and we'll see who we really think is going to leave in addition to that. I'm not necessarily going to attach any names to people who are incoming because that just feeds into buying into all of the rumours. I'll just say this position to be recruited. But I think if we get two central midfielders, centre forward, our back four, and the cover, and if Agard comes in and he wants to stay, and Potter fancies him, I know there's at least a decent section of the fan base that think he can do a job. I know there's others that point out his weaknesses. I'm a got a foot in bit of both camps because I think he definitely has got something to offer, but I definitely think he's got some weaknesses and aerially, not least being among them. And we already have enough problems that in our centre halves aerially, in my view. So that's a bit of a problem. But I'm guessing he's going to come back. Potter's going to have a look at him. He's going to make it clear whether he does or doesn't want to stay. My other theory on Agard is that he doesn't quite fancy the Premier League, so I could be wrong about that. We'll see. But he could be a good addition to the squad. So if we get opportunity to recruit a centre half from somewhere and he can come in and shine alongside that, it's brilliant. And we should have the funds. And without 12 players leaving and 10 days coming in, and that's exactly what might happen, by the way. But don't think we have to dismantle quite everything quite as drastically, even if though we may end up doing so. Will we sell one of the 600 young keepers we have out on loan? I've no idea. I mean, I got a feeling Fabianski's going to stay for another year. But things like I was saying in my demonstration, I'm not saying there's a 39 million surplus as such, but I'm saying, in that model, you could still have that kind of 30 odd million at your disposal. Well, there's a goalkeeper. If you really want to change a goalkeeper, you get 8 million for Areola going out, in my opinion. Bring in your new goalkeeper. And get Fabianski to stay on for a year. Fodringham's kind of like no harm if he's here or not. So let him see out his contract. And if you can bring one of these young keepers in that look like they might be anywhere near the grade, great. Let's develop them in that way. And if they're clearly not going to make the grade, then we really should be moving some of the youngsters on, especially if we're genuinely overloaded in certain positions. Give them a chance somewhere else if they're not going to make it at West Ham, especially they're getting loaned out at some of the levels that they're at. They're clearly not quite ready for the Premier League. Don't get me wrong. I know they need time to develop. I'm not saying bomb them out. Just the ones that really ain't going to make it, let them go and make a career somewhere. Word says, I'm unsure and cautious about new signings. Beginning of this season, I thought our new signings were amazing. Yeah, I mean, although we won the transfer window and all that, and I don't think it's worked out like that. However, I think Fulkrug is showing now that he's perhaps not as bad as we had first feared. And Guilherme is starting to show, getting a few more opportunities and starting to show that maybe he's got something to offer us in the future. So, yeah, but I agree. We were all pretty excited about the transfer window, all got overexcited about it. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Because the narrative last year from a lot of the channels and social media was that we got a director of football in, he was going to come in and transform things. And this year, the narrative seems to be much more cautious that, we've got inexperienced people recruiting now. Well, I mean, if we look at the cold hard light of day, basically we're saying Carl McCauley's got a promotion to head of recruitment and it's a new role for him, so he's inexperienced in that role, which is exactly the same what Tim Steighton was doing last year when he was appointed as a director of football in a completely new role to him, and he was inexperienced in that. So we're prepared to show blind faith in one set of inexperience, and now we're very cautious over this set of inexperience. Perhaps we're once bitten, twice shy. I don't know. I think in a way we missed Steighton though, because I think what we are missing, especially I'm sure we're all dreading Sullivan's in the transfer market during the summer. And I think that's the one thing that Staten demonstrated that he was really good at. I mean, he went and he negotiated and he closed deals, and I think that is going to be sorely, sorely missed. Um, we'll see. Terence says it's shameful that I'm laughing at Arsenal's disallowed goal. I might ring Aaron and let him know I feel for him. You're cruel, Terence. Very cruel. I've got a couple of Arsenal fans that are going to be coming around tomorrow evening for our darts night, and I'm sure they won't be too happy if the game finishes like this. But I haven't watched much of this second half because I've been chatting to you guys. But I did watch the first half, obviously, because we were delayed, and I do think they were fortunate, and I think they were very lucky not to give that penalty away. Make West Ham great again says Fabianski's wages are too high. Time to part ways. Yeah, that's fine. Um, I just think that if we recruit another goalkeeper, if we're going to invest in what we consider to be a number one, uh, Areola's not going to be satisfied to sit on the bench, and he's going to be a problem. So I think it's easier to move Areola on a tractor fee than let Fabianski go. But I take your point. That's just my view on it. If we're going to if Toro alluded to, if one of the youngsters is anywhere near ready to be pushed into the first team squad and take up the number 2 shirt, I'd be all for that. But I'm not across it enough to know rightly or wrongly whether there is. But my feeling is that there isn't at this time. But let me know if you know otherwise. And Tara says Aaron won't believe Terry. He says, Terence, I normally root for another English teams in Europe, but I just can't tonight or Thursday for that matter. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Ian. I'm not. It's just a Rice thing for me. He's left to win trophies, and if Arsenal fail in their bid to win the Champions League, it's just another bit of banter. I can direct it to Declan Rice, but I don't really have any ill feeling to him. I'm sure he will win that trophy one day. And as annoying as lots of Arsenal fans are, actually my pals and the Arsenal fans I talk to, they're actually all right. So I find it difficult to be too hard on them, really. Plus, they've kind of got a bit higher ground than us most of the time, most weeks. Thursday, though, different matter. Absolutely. If an English team is going to win the Europa League this year, can't believe I'm saying this, but please let it be Manchester United. Make West Ham great again says Fulkrug won't be here next season. His point was correct, but you don't say that in public. Fair enough. Maybe he's angling for a move. Maybe the club will see it as disruptive, unacceptable, want to move him on, or maybe it'll just be the cogs of business turning. I've included him as remaining for now. As the weeks go by before the end of the season, we can revisit that. Maybe he'll go into the sell list. Tony says, I think Fabianski should be kept on, but in a different role. There's a lot he can teach. Okay, and I'm not against that either, Terence, if he was to leave the playing staff but stay on in a coaching role or something like that. I think it's about time we had a freshen up in the goalkeeping coaching department. That guy is absolute Teflon. And I guess the criticism I'm going to lay at him for his coaching around our current goalkeepers is going to reflect on Fabianski then taking up that coaching role. So maybe that makes me sound a little bit foolish, but I don't know. Perhaps a freshen up wouldn't hurt. Word says, thanks for the show. I enjoyed being here. Sorry, I have to leave now. Words, no problem. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you joining in, and hopefully we'll see you next week. And Chora says good night as well to Words, and Chora agrees the goalkeeping coach should move on as well. Yeah, so kind of all I prepared, apart from a quick discussion leading into the Spurs game. Unless you guys got anything else to offer in the chat that you want me to talk about regarding the summer or the list that I've presented so far. I'm not really sure what to expect of Spurs on Sunday because it's two massive games around the respective Thursday nights. What I've done is I've got to load this up. Please bear with me. Let me just do that now. What I've done, I've put the lineup that they put out against Liverpool as the lineup I would expect something like. Oh dear. Sorry about this, guys. I've just noticed Happy's popped into the chat. She says, oi, oi, you fucking lovely lot. Happy, thanks for joining us. Very nice of you to give us your presence. Hope you're keeping well. Let me see. Now, I should be able to do that now. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm a technical nightmare. I'm glad Words has gone because he'd be laughing at me over that, saying how dreadful I am and tell me I should have done it in 2 clicks. But this is the team they lined up with against Liverpool, and I'm guessing we'll be facing something similar. So Vicario was in goal, had Spencer at right back with Danso, Davies in central defence, and Udogie at left back. Midfield of Bergvall, Gray, and Maddison, with a front three of Johnson, Solanke, and Tell. No idea about Spurs, if I'm perfectly honest. Really don't care about them very much either. But I know they got a massive game, and I know they made huge changes to field that side against Liverpool. So I guess it's going to be something along them lines. Not sure what Potter's going to do, so I'm just going to tell you what I'd like him to do. I'd like him to set up something like a 4-1-4-1. I've picked Alvarez. I had no idea if he's going to be available or not. But I'm going on the basis that he is, and if he is, he's in my team. So I'd go with Emerson, Areola in goal, back four of Emerson, Kilman, Tadibo, and Wan-Bissaka. Although if anyone firmly wanted to put Mavropanos in and drop Kilman out, for example, I wouldn't offer that strong an argument at the moment. I think Mavropanos has been decent in his last 2 or 3 appearances when he's come on. He's actually looked quite assured at times. So maybe he's earned himself a chance, and Kilman's been a little bit dodgy. But that would be my back four. I'd put Alvarez in front of them. I'd have Kudus and Bowen in the wide positions, Paqueta and Soler along Fulkrug up front. That's how I'd start the game. If Fulkrug's not fit for 90 minutes, if I can get an hour out of him, great. If he needs to be changed at halftime, so be it. We'll look at it then. But please, please, um, don't start with five at the back and Bowen and Kudus up front. Um, my view. But let me know your guys' views. I like that 4-1-4-1 because I think when you're attacking, it can spring quite easily to a 4-3-3. Um, and if he's worried defensively, I think it's quite a good shape defensively. I'm saying good evening to HH. Ian saying it's a huge opportunity for GP to buy a bit of favour with us. We love to beat Tottenham. He must make sure we turn up on the front foot. He's absolutely right. I mean, if we lose to them and we play in the manner we've been playing at times recently, it's going to turn really bad. And if he can go out and give us a really good performance and get a win against them, even if it's a weakened Tottenham side and they were concentrated on Europe, I couldn't give a fuck. I'll be honest with you. Get a win against them, he'll buy himself a bit of good favour, like you say. Happy saying hello to usual and Toha. And she says, I'd feel slightly more confident if we were playing Spuds away. But I'll tell you what, we beat them and fuck me, it's going to be massive. Yeah. Yeah, we love beating them, don't we? Will Coulda see red again? I think not. But who knows? 90 minutes of football, anything can happen. Happy says, well done, PSG. That's naughty, Happy. I can't join in with your celebrations. I've already said, I'll upset my Arsenal mates and I might have some bants with them, but I don't want to upset them. They're good lads. Joe says, when Tottenham lose, can we have a group sing-along? Yeah, why not? Is there an offer invitation in that post? Says Toha to HH. Just a massive piss up, she says. And that will do. Now, I'm away next weekend, and I believe the game's not going to be televised. So, evening, Tony. Thanks for joining us. I actually don't know if I'm going to get to see the game. So, I don't know how well placed I'm going to be to give you a review. But hopefully, I will get away to see the game, and I'll have someone to join me next week. Won't be stranded here on my own, stumbling along. And I'll get down to predictions, I guess, before I go. And I cannot say that I'm going to predict for us to lose to Tottenham. I don't think I could get the words out. So Terence says, if we put in a massive performance, I will forgive our season. I'm not sure I'll forgive our season. It's been awful, truly awful. But it would definitely buy him some space. And excuse me. Tara says, watch along on Sunday at Hammers Football TV. Yeah, I'm away in company. I just don't know how available I'm going to be. But everyone, go along and see Tony. If you've not subscribed, I'm sure most of you have. But anyone who isn't, pop along and catch up with Tony's content and subscribe to his channel. And usual says, and against Manure as well. Absolutely. I mean, if he picks up 2 results there, beats Tottenham and Man United, picks up another result along the way. We finish above them and Everton. Uh, it's still a disappointing season, but the prize money I hear that we've budgeted for will be less of a loss. So that should free up a little bit more into the transfer kitty. And the satisfaction and the bragging rights over Man United and Tottenham fans is like priceless, ain't it? Happy says, how bizarre that Mavs has stepped up the last few matches. Kilman looks like our worst centre back of late. Yeah, Kilman's looked decidedly dodgy of late, and Mav, I mean, he's a walking accident, but I can't level that at him. In the last few games, he's as you say, he's stepped up, he's performed, and I hope no one boos him next time he comes on the pitch because he didn't deserve that. I don't like that treatment of him. Not an advocate of that, and I don't know. Maybe some might say that spurred him on, but I don't think that's good for a player. But he's definitely upped his performance. Please God, he don't drop a clanger against Spurs now. Terry saying good evening. Toe is saying 2-1 for us. And Happy says, gutted we've now conceded 3 under Potter, to be honest. Want to see Fuckrug start. Guilherme deserves a chance too. They know very little about those two. Yeah, well, I definitely want to see Fulkrug start. I wouldn't be against Guilherme starting. I just think it's unlikely. But if he starts, I'm fine with it. Ian says it's going to be bold and go 2-0 to West Ham. I think Andrew will be 100% focusing on Europe, as I think he has gone either way. He'll want to go with a trophy. Fair enough. I think you are being bold because I think it's unlikely that we stop them scoring. Not because Spurs are particularly dangerous, although I think they can be. But I think we just leak a goal a game at least. So I think they will score. And I'm going to say that I'm going to agree with Toha and say we win 2-1. And I'll take that all day long. And if Terence is right and it's 3-1, I'll be in a very happy place. And Happy says, playing on a Sunday reminds me of Europe. The thing is, when I booked the weekend to go away, I was sure this fixture was Monday evening. And when I looked and I thought, I'm travelling back Monday and I'll get to see that Monday night. But I guess because of Europe, it's been moved to Sunday. But I could have got that wrong. Anyway, guys, I've caught up with the chat. I've managed just over an hour on me, Todd. Thanks for staying with me. I feel absolutely exhausted. I don't know what to do without a sparring partner. I'll be honest with you. Happy says 1-1 glass half full, 2-1 win, full heart. Go with your full heart, I say, Happy. Ian says, great job, Jeff. Thanks. Can't be easy on your own. I tell you what, mate, this is not my comfort zone. So, yeah, I do feel like a fish out of water. So thanks you guys for helping me along because without you, I definitely wouldn't have been able to waffled on like this for quite so long. And Happy says she's glad caught some of it. And I'm glad that you popped in, Happy. It's lovely to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you'll be able to join us again soon. Toa says, well played. Good chat and thanks. And thanks to you, Toa. And thanks to all of you for your support. Tony, he says, well done for going on your Todd. Great work. Cheers, buddy. Not my forte, I don't think, but got away with it. I got away with one, I guess. Tony says, been a great show, mate, and appreciated. And all of you guys are appreciated as well. Hopefully, I'll bring you a show next week. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to get to see the game, so I don't know if I'll be able to. Keep an eye out on your notifications. Uh, thanks, usual. And if I can bring you a show, I will. Uh, until then, I'll catch you next time. Good night, all. Let's all hope for a positive result on Sunday. Come on, you Irons.